In my last video, I said that there was something that has been stopping me from making videos, um, and that I haven't really shared it because I was trying to manifest it away. And that thing is that I have long COVID. And I just want to clarify, most importantly, that long COVID is not the source of my depression. My depression started over a decade ago. But it definitely contributes to it. It's definitely making it a lot harder to get better. So I got long COVID after getting COVID for the third time. And when I got COVID, it never really was bad. The first time I had it, I didn't even notice, except I was eating sweet chili heat, or at least that's what they're called in Canada, Doritos. And they didn't really have any flavor, so I thought maybe I got a bad batch. That made me realize eventually that I lost my sense of taste, and then I tested for positive for COVID. And then the second two times, but other than that, I had no symptoms really. I would have honestly, truly never have known I had it. And then the second time I had it, I had a bit of a cold, so of course I tested, and I tested positive. And the third time I had it, I wouldn't have known, except I was with somebody who had it, so I tested myself since I had been spending time with this person and I had it. And shortly after, I developed long COVID. And long COVID for most people is essentially a form of ME/CFS, but there was just no label for it. So ME/CFS is usually triggered by some sort of viral infection. It's usually something like Epstein-Barr virus, Lyme's disease. I can't remember the other ones. I think those are the two most common. And it's like your nervous system kind of crashes. Well, no one actually really knows what's happening. It's kind of like an untreatable illness. My personal belief is that it's your nervous system malfunctioning. A lot of people think it's more like a cellular thing, and I don't think that's really the case, but that's aside from the point. And long COVID is essentially CFS, but it's triggered by the COVID infection. So your nervous system is just, it crashes from some sort of infection. But I don't think that infection is actually what caused it. I think that you've been dealing with so much like stress and trauma in your life. Most people who have long COVID or ME/CFS have a background of trauma or some sort of like stressful type of situation. Yeah, but this video is not really supposed to be about what it is, because that's actually part of the reason why I don't want to talk about it, because it's a kind of a sensitive topic for some people because there's really no answer to what it is. And it has been stopping me from being able to essentially live, and especially filming these videos. My life is very, very hard with the fatigue. I lost my jobs because I could no longer get out of bed to go to them. And I pretty much spend all day in bed. I've learned with CFS, you have to learn something like called pacing, which is to like really, really slow everything you do down and only do what you can do so that you can still function, but the functioning level isn't a normal functioning level. So for example, I'm doing the best I've ever done, which is still really, really bad, but I can now go for like 20-30 minute walks and be okay. Whereas in the first 8 to 10-ish months of getting CFS, I couldn't really move at all. The bathroom, which is 2 steps from my bed, was very difficult for me to get to. And a few months into it, when I started being able to walk to the bathroom all right, I tried to go and get my mail one time. And my mail, I would say, is like a 2-minute walk, slow walk from my place. And I walked this, like, it was really hard, and I walked really calmly and slowly, but by halfway there, so about like a 60-second walk, my body couldn't do it. I knew I wouldn't be able to make it back. So I turned around, and I don't even, this is why I didn't really also want to make this video, because it's just so bad and so severe, but it doesn't like sound real, kind of. It's really hard for normal people who don't have this to understand when I'm saying I can't walk for a minute. Like, it doesn't really make sense to them. And it's really hard for me to explain and put into words what is really going on. So I feel like, I don't know, I just don't talk about it, kind of. Yeah, so being able to film a video, I only do that on like my good days. And my good days are not good. They just mean that I am able to get up out of bed, whereas most days I can't really. Like, even sitting up is kind of exhausting for me. And I also have POTS, but I've always had POTS. It just never impacted me like it does. So with POTS, a lot of times I'll have, I I don't think they're technically called a seizure, but to untrained eye, they would look like a seizure. So I'll just black out and fall to the ground and start like convulsing. And when I was younger, because I've had POTS since first time this seizure thing happened was when I was 16, but it only happened in certain situations, and I kind of knew what to look for. It only happened really, really early in the morning first when I got out of bed really quickly. So I knew when it was going to happen. I could kind of, I don't know, it happened like less than once a month since then. And then now that I've gotten CFS, it happens, like 5 times a day type of thing. Like, it happens quite often. And every task is like extremely, extremely hard to do. As in like going to the bathroom, taking a shower, all of those things are extremely exhausting. So I will spend sorry, I'm just bracing myself because I was going to start crying and I just really don't want to cry. But I'll wake up and I'll spend 4 to 6 hours laying there trying to get enough energy to, I don't know, I'm trying to like fight the inevitable. It's like I really just don't want to cry anymore. It's like I know that this situation really sucks, but I want to, I'm setting these smaller goals for myself. I'm setting these smaller goals for myself, and one of them is that I want to cry a little bit less. I'm not gonna say that I can't cry at all, because that's just not possible, but my measurements, I don't even have enough energy to like edit this out in my videos. So it's like I'm trying to compose myself. Most people would just edit this out, but like I don't have the capacity. And this is why I don't make videos. You guys, I can't do it. I want to, and I'm trying so hard, but it's not just videos I can't do anything. What was I saying? So I'm trying to like measure small pieces of success with my depression of, it's so bad that I'm trying not to go, I want to be happy, but it's like, I want to get through a day or a few hours without crying type of thing. So I'm working on it, and I have been doing so much better. I'm doing better. The sad thing is that when you're doing better, like the better is still really, really bad. So where was I before I started this whole thing? I wake up in the morning and I am now able to go to the bathroom okay. So I'm able to get up and go to the bathroom and I brush my teeth most of the time. Those are like brushing my teeth and taking care of personal hygiene are my like thing, my non-negotiables. It's like no matter what, I have to do those things. Although sometimes I go days without showering, and I actually can't believe I even just admitted that because it's kind of embarrassing, but I just don't like have the energy to do it. I used to be such like a organized, clean person, wash all my bedding every single week. And now I'm honestly, I'm not even gonna admit how long I go without washing my bedding because I physically am incapable of doing it. Like I'll end up passing out or something. It's like I can't even complete my thought of what I'm trying to say, but I pretty much my day looks like I wake up in the morning and I lay in my bed for hours upon hours. If I'm having a good day, then I'll go on my phone a little bit and like just look at stuff mindlessly. But if I'm having a not good day, which is most of the time, especially if I crash, so if I do anything above my normal, I can't really look at my phone much because it makes it worse. So with really severe like long COVID, CFS, everything, you can't really watch TV or have anything like stimulating because if your body can't handle it, it'll cause you to crash and feel sick. And at the most severe CFS, people have to wear like blackout eye masks all the time because even just seeing light or just seeing your surroundings will cause them to get severely sick. I'm luckily not at that point. And something that actually I just said there that made it, I realized that I made a lot of improvement is that I just started being able to watch TV. Sorry guys, I don't have any Kleenex on me, but I haven't, because I've had long COVID, CFS. I think it's been about like 2 years now, and for the first 6 months to like a year, I couldn't watch TV at all. I get really, really sick from watching things. There's too much stimulation. And in the past couple of weeks, I've been able to watch a TV show here and there. It's been a really big movement for me that I'm able to do that. So I'm very happy about that. And I pretty much can't do anything. Like I will spend 5 hours laying in bed just trying to exist, and then I also have this depression that's weighing on top of me too, and I have really, really severe anxiety. I don't even want to talk about the anxiety because I'm going to like start having a panic attack and bawling my eyes out. I just can't deal with it right now. I just can't function, and I'll lay there for hours trying to talk myself up to going into my kitchen and getting something to eat, and I can't do it. And like to not be able to feed yourself, it's really messed up. Some days I can do it okay, but like today I spent 2 hours laying in bed, walking myself through the motions of putting pieces of bread in the toaster, and I wanted to have some cottage cheese on the toast and some tomato. So I had to talk myself for like an hour and a half over the motion of getting to the kitchen and then doing those steps and then eating it and then getting back into bed. And it's not a way to live, that you need to talk yourself through those steps for hours before you do them so that you can prepare your body to do that. And I applied for disability earlier this year and I just got a letter back declining it. My doctors are still trying to help me get on it, but it's aside from the point. I don't want to have to be on disability. It's not what I want. I want to be able to function. I had so much. I wanted to do a good job explaining what CFS is like, because I watched so many other people's videos about CFS, and they explain how how difficult their lives are, and I wanted to try to explain it, but I really don't know how to say that my life is anything other than each step I do, I have to like lay down after I do it. Not a physical step, but I can't just like get up and brush my teeth, put my hair in a ponytail, put clothes on, and then go to the kitchen. Like my body will, like, I don't know, collapse, or I'll get a severe headache, or I'll be okay if I push through it and use adrenaline to push through it. I'll be okay for a while and I can do it, but then I'll get a very, very severe crash the next day or the day after, and it'll last for anywhere for a few days to a week or two, where I am just laying in bed and I can't even look at anything or listen to an audiobook or do anything. But so in order to do those steps of brush my teeth, put my hair in a ponytail, put clothes on, and go to the kitchen and eat something, that's something that the average person could do in like a half an hour. Realistically, probably in like 5 or 10 minutes, but I don't even know. I'm so far from that. And these days, it's hard for me to remember what it was like to be normal. But I'd have to wake up in the morning, and even though I have to pee really badly, it's a lot of effort for me to get to the bathroom. So I have to, motivate myself to do that. So then I'll go to the bathroom. I have to lay back in bed and spend a half an hour to an hour motivating myself to brush my teeth. Now, go to my 3 steps to the sink and brush my teeth, and then lay back down for another half an hour to an hour and motivate myself enough energy to wash my face, because that's the 2 things I have to do: wash my face, brush my teeth. Those are the only 2 things I kind of do. And then I'll have to lay back down and spend another couple hours motivating myself to put on clothes, and that's usually as far as I get. I'll put the clothes back on if I'm lucky. And lay in bed. And I'm a very, very food motivated person. With my depression, food is probably the only thing that brings me any sense of pleasure or joy anymore. And I've struggled with food my whole life, and I've struggled with my weight whole life, because I love food very much, as a lot of people do, especially people who have issues with like depression and stuff, because you use it to like self-regulate and everything. But I'm a very food motivated person, but a lot of times I can't even get myself to get to the kitchen to eat anything, because that task is more than my body can kind of take on. And it's pretty messed up. My mom makes a lot of food for me, so I'm very grateful, because I don't really have like the capacity, I don't know the word, or the energy, the ability. CFS doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense to an outsider. It doesn't make sense at all unless you have it. Well, it still doesn't make sense if you have it, but you just get it that you just can't do anything. And I struggle to get to the kitchen to eat a piece of toast. So I don't know, it just, sometimes I'll be in the middle of like putting my toast in the toaster and just like break down and cry, because it's so hard. And I'm just thinking about how so many people or not so many, I shouldn't think that way, but like someone's gonna be like, wow, this girl's crying over like toast. But I'm not crying about the toast. I'm crying because like I can't function as a normal human. And I'm really afraid with applying for disability, because we're trying to get it put through, but eventually I'm going to have to appeal it if they don't accept it, and I'm going to have to sit in front of like a panel of people to decide if I'm like disabled enough. But I'm self-aware enough that my appearance doesn't help me, because I look really healthy and I don't look disabled at all. Like, there's this Facebook group that I read about on a forum about disability things, and I tried to get to like request to join it because only people who were disabled were allowed to join, and they declined me. And it's just like sad because I don't like look disabled, but being disabled doesn't have a look. I don't really know how to say it, but I don't look it, right? So if I do have to appeal for disability, I just don't feel like I'm gonna get it because they're gonna look at me and think that I look fine. And yeah, I'm like having a really hard time with the CFS. So, and then there's like the depression and everything. And you guys know, if you've been watching all my videos, a lot of times, or I don't know if I forget what I even talk about, but I'm really afraid about money because I've been living off my savings since I got CFS. And I don't know what I'm going to do because yeah, that's gonna run out, and I can barely feed myself and take care of myself, and I don't know how I'm gonna ever be able to get a job. So I'm pretty much relying on the hope that I'm going to get disability. But like, that's a really like scary situation to be in, and because if I don't get it, I have no idea what I'm going to do, and I'm trying not to think about it because I'm going to end up in a very bad situation if that happens. And then the other thing that I have is that I'm trying to manifest, and I don't like to talk about manifestation on this channel because I know a lot of people don't believe in it, and I don't think that's the wrong way, but like, I don't really care if other people don't believe in it. It's done so much for me in my life that I know it's real, so it doesn't really matter what other people think. So, but I just don't really want to talk about it. It just doesn't seem relevant to this channel. But I'm manifesting that I will somehow, everything will be okay. And with that, I am also praying to God that He will help me, whether that be helping me get disability, or I don't know, getting better. I don't know. I'm very afraid, and I'm just trying to think if there is, because I always want to talk about these like certain videos, things and topics and videos, and then after I film it, because I don't have like a lot of capacity to execute things, I often don't talk about the things I meant to talk about, and I kind of like nice. I forgot to talk about that, but I'm just trying to see if there's anything that I was supposed to talk about. Mostly, I just wanted to come on here and say that I have chronic fatigue syndrome from long COVID, or from COVID or whatever. It is very bad. I am not functioning as a normal human despite having other illnesses like anxiety and severe depression, severe anxiety, OCD, PMDD, all these different things. Despite having all of those, which are making my life feel like hell, I also have this on top of it. But this CFS is not the cause of my depression, but it does make it very hard to get better. Actually, that's something I want to talk about. Sometimes I have good days where I'm able to like go for like a walk for an hour. That is kind of the and maybe like do some laundry. That is like my best day I can have. That is like a good full energy day. And the rest of the time, aside from that 1 hour of walking and doing some laundry and maybe making myself a meal, and when I say I'm making myself a meal, it's always something like toast or like cut up vegetables or like a sandwich, because I don't have the ability to do anything more than that. And the rest of that day is spent laying down. So that is a good day for me. And I have, I understand the benefits of working out for mental health. So I decided to try to go to the gym during some of these days where they are like good days for 15 minutes, because that is all I am able to do. And I try not to be hard on myself about that because I just don't have another option. So I tried going to the gym for 15 minutes a few days a week. And this was actually what happened in that one video I made. If you guys, I don't know how many of you guys are actually watching all my videos. I made a video in my 30-day vlog one day saying I was finally happy. I think that was the day I was going to the gym or something like that. But going to the gym really helped my mental health substantially. And the worst thing ever was that after a day or two of going to the gym, I would have severe crashes with CFS where I couldn't really get up. I couldn't even sit up, kind of thing. I mean, no, that's not true, because I don't want to exaggerate anything. I can definitely sit up. I feel very sick when I do it, and it would be very hard for me to. Those would be days when I'd go like 5 days without showering. I would just lay in bed and I couldn't do anything other than that. So it's really hard when something that is making your depression get better, for example, going to the gym, causes your other illness to get a lot worse. So I had to stop doing it, and it was really hard for me, because I'm like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to ever get better if I can't do the things that make me better. So all the things to get better for depression, aside from changing your thought process, is like, you need to do things. I'm also depressed because I feel like I'm making some mental progress in my depression and my brain and the way of thinking, and like CBT and DBT and everything, but I can't execute the next steps, which for a depressed person, which would be to do things, to talk to people, to have to do this stuff, because with CFS I'm incapable of doing those things, and it's really hard. It's really hard. I don't know what to do. And it's literally a bad situation that I don't know how to put into words. But yeah, that is what I'm going through. And after I film this video, I'm going to walk from here right now, and I'm going to go lay in my bed for another many hours, because that is what my life looks like, and it is really horrible. And I am praying to God every day to get better. And I think I can. I want to, and I won't give up. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys what's actually happening, or not what's actually happening, what is also happening. So yeah, thanks guys. See you in the next video.